Taking him out with a decoy. They're hitting me. I have the banner. Someone's getting his squad back.
Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we take an in-depth look into Mirage, my favorite character in Respawn Entertainment's Apex Legends. Before getting into some gameplay, I just want to walk you through Mirage's ability so that you're prepared for what you're about to see when we hop into some gameplay. So, if we look at the three abilities here, we have a passive, a tactical, and an ultimate, as every character does. I'll start with the passive just because it's the least useful of the three that you're seeing on screen. The passive ability is called Encore, and basically what it does is you're in a gun battle with somebody, you end up losing that gun battle, and you get knocked down. When you get knocked down, it shows a little 5-second animation while you go invisible and can crawl away behind cover or something like that. Essentially, what it's hoping to do is that the enemy is shooting you. He's not necessarily notified that you've been knocked down, or it still shows you on screen, so he's still putting bullets into you. Meanwhile, you're getting away, and you can call out to your enemies that you've been knocked, and hopefully that's enough time for your teammates to shoot the enemy that knocked you before you end up going down. So it has its time and its place. There have been a few times I've been able to crawl into a bush or behind a rock or something before the enemy has finished me, but it's definitely not the most useful that I've ever seen. Moving on to the tactical ability, which is called Psych Out. This is Mirage's bread and butter. So this is the reason why I use Mirage and why he's my favorite character. If you're somebody that likes to outsmart opponents or just kind of use a mental edge against them, this tactical ability, Psych Out, is definitely where it's at. So essentially what it does is you hit L1 or left bumper if you're playing on console. If you're playing on PC, you would have your own dedicated button for tacticals. But essentially, you hit whatever button it's assigned to, and it sends a decoy, a clone of yourself, in the direction where you called it. So, for example, say you're stuck behind a rock or behind a fence or something, and an enemy's looking at you. You can look to the right of the rock. You can call your cloak and your decoy and have him run out to the right. As soon as he starts getting shot at, you can jump out to the left and then take down your enemy that's shooting your clone that went out to the right. So this has saved me so many times. I can't even tell you how many kills. When we get into the gameplay, I'll show you a few examples of me using it. But Psych Out, this is by far my favorite tactical in the game. So we'll talk about that more in a second when we hop into gameplay. Last but not least, his ult is called Vanishing Act. So there's two ways that Vanishing Act can be used. It can be used either offensively or defensively. Most of the time it's used defensively. So say you're getting shot at, you're low on health, you're about to run out of health, you're about to be knocked. You can hit L1 and R1 at the same time. What that does is it deploys a team of decoys in a circle around you while you go invisible. So you go invisible for 5-10 seconds, somewhere in there, and it gives you the ability to run away, get behind cover, and heal up while the enemy is still looking at your team of decoys. So that would be if you're using it defensively. You can use it offensively as well. Say there are two teams battling and you're sneaking up on them, or you're sneaking up and you've been noticed right before you get to them. You can pop it, and then it will give you 10 seconds to hit a flank behind the enemy team before they realize where you've gone or what you have done. So you can use it offensively. We'll talk about that as well, but primarily Vanishing Act is used defensively. Alright guys, so hopping into some gameplay here. First thing I want to show you is the use of this ult. So I ran away, I repaired my shields, I turned back, both my teammates have died. I take some snipes here on this Gibraltar. I missed quite a bit of them, and as you can see, I'm down to one shot. And right now I'm still being shot at. You can hear it right there. There are bullets landing behind me. So I used my ult, which popped a bunch of decoys behind me. I am now invisible, so I'm just trying to run away as far as I can. Now, when I come back from being invisible, I'm stuck behind this tree. So I pop my Phoenix kit. It might not have been the best place to stop, right? Because I'm just behind this tiny little tree. But those guys are back into another fight. So my decoys allowed me the ability to run away. And then you'll see here in a second when I get back, I go ahead and I use my tactical, my decoy to actually go ahead and finish these kills. So I sent my decoy over to the left just because I figured that's going to get to them first. This is actually the clip you saw in the beginning of the game when I wiped this whole squad. I saw Gibraltar's dome was there, so I had to come up, go close. I go outside the dome and then back in. I finish the second guy. I go back outside the dome to try to run away. I get back, and the guy that was knocked to begin with is the only guy that was left. So basically, that entire team wipe, that squad wipe there, was only made possible because I used my ult right before there to be able to get away, heal up, and then run back into the battle. Next clip I'll go back and I'll go ahead and explain is one that you also saw earlier. I was following a Wraith there and he dropped underneath, and right there I heard him coming back up the zip line. So when I run back up this hill and I go ahead and I ADS, I aim down sight, I know that he has to be tucked in the right there. There's nowhere else he could be because he came up. He has to be over there. So what I do is I send my decoy by. You can see right there he's looking at it, and then since he's looking at my decoy, I was able to go ahead and swipe in and finish that kill. Same exact thing happens in this clip that you saw from earlier. I'm turned around, I'm shooting this guy that's coming here. I know that he's going to be running up to me, so I go ahead and I send my decoy out in front of those stairs. He shoots at the decoy, I'm able to put some bullets into him. He comes back, I finish him off here, and I get the win. So again, it's total misdirection from my decoy that allows me to finish all of these kills. Alright guys, last but not least, I apologize. OBS messed up when I was recording this and it didn't get the audio, but I really wanted to show it to you. So there are me versus 3 other people left. I go ahead and I get 2 down there. One of them does get recovered, but I go ahead and I throw my decoy. Unfortunately, my decoy causes them to throw concussions at me, so I'm stunned here. If I stay in this corner, I'm going to die. So I throw my decoys, my ult, and I go ahead and I run away. As I was running into this fight, I realized that there was armor behind me, so that's going to help me in a second. I get pretty damaged. I put some shots into them. They're throwing nades at me, which are hurting me also. I get one knock there that was recently picked up. So this guy pops out, throws nades at me. I get damaged. I figured before I go in to try to finish this fight, I'll go back and pick up this armor. I get this armor, and as I come back, he's healing his teammates, so I get some easy shots here to finish the game. But again, there's a special circumstance where I would have lost that game if it wouldn't have been for my ability to pop my ult and then run away with all of my cloaks, dealing all the damage. Alright guys, so with that, I'm out of here. If you're new around here, please subscribe. I appreciate you tuning in and watching this video. If you want to leave a like, share it across social media, whatever you want to do, I appreciate it. So thank you guys, and I will catch you on the battlefield. See ya.